A very good evening and welcome to Primetime News. I'm Adushka Balasurya.
And I'm Florin Rajendran. Here's a look at tonight's headlines.
Public battered by the severe drought in 14 districts. Siddhartha Shakti Sahana Yatra commences to provide relief to the drought affected. 3 drop-off points established. Health strike continues. Patients severely inconvenienced. Another group felling a kumbuk tree with the permission of the Ampara Divisional Secretary arrested. Deputy Minister Faisal Mustafa says that investor problems were largely answered through the European Union-Sri Lanka business dialogue. Meanwhile, Ambassador of the European Union to Sri Lanka, David Daly, says
investment rules are not always clear. EU companies feel that while trade rules are clear, FDI rules are not always so.
Good evening, I'm Sangit Kalubovila. Join me late in the bulletin for more updates about drought situation in Polonnaruwa.
Newsfirst Mahina Bongso is standing by at the Newsfirst newsroom at the very moment with the very latest on the prevailing drought conditions, while Ramesh Iruga Mandara is standing by at the MTV MBC City Office at Braybrook Place, Colombo, on the very latest on the relief activities of the Siddhartha Shakti Sahana Yatra. We start off with Mahina.
Thank you very much, Madhushka. Yes, the Newsfirst team has been covering the situation that has actually ravaged many parts of the country, specifically 14 districts that have been ravaged by these droughts, rendering people helpless. And so the Newsfirst team have traveled to these areas, to these districts, to bring you the comprehensive stories from these districts. We've been covering the drought situation over the past few weeks. Now let's cross over to Lakna Amandi, who is in Thisapura, Monaragala, who filed this report for us earlier in the day.
the Newsfirst team headed away from the Monaragala town today, around 17 kilometers, to reach the Hulandava South area. The Newsfirst team witnessed how gushing rivers and streams had dried up as a result of the drought. 436 families are in dire need of drinking water, as they are faced with a severe drinking water crisis.
We get water from Bowsers, and the last time the Bowser came was 5 days ago.
The
Newsfirst team then set off to the Thisapura village. The Department of Irrigation was seen distributing water to the Monaragala Divisional Secretariat with the use of water bowsers. The Disaster Management Centre said that 40 bowsers are being used to distribute water in the Monaragala Divisional Secretariat area. It added that water obtained through tube wells are thus being distributed. This area has not seen any rainfall for over 9 months. Although the area experienced rainfall at 2 occasions, it was not sufficient to fertile the ground. Many Chena cultivations have been destroyed as a result of the scorching heat.
This hut, which was used throughout the year, has been abandoned for 8 months. This is because these people do not have a cultivation to protect anymore.
It was evident that these residents have to travel almost 5 kilometers in search of water to drink.
This isn't a garbage dump, but have you bathed your child in water like this? For the people in Thisapura, this is the only solution.
8 Grama Seva divisions in the Thisapura area benefit from the Hulandava Oya.
This is a challenge, but not the ice bucket challenge you see in the capital. This is the challenge to use this water before it dries up.
Visuals that clearly depict the hardships that people have to undergo in Monaragala to obtain a drop of water. Let's now cross over to Sangit Kalubovila. He was in Polonnaruwa yesterday, joining us on the news bulletin covering the drought situation there. He's today travelled to Anuradhapura, and here's the latest from there.
Our first stop today was the Thonigala village in Kahatagis Digilia. 100 families residing in this village rely on agriculture and freshwater fishing to make a living. The drought robbed these residents of the ability to engage in farming activities, while the dried up tank took away their fishing activities as well. The lack of a proper water scheme to the village compounded the effects of the drought. This solitary tube well is the only source of water for the entire village at present.
This is yet another story of this severe drought condition here in Anuradhapura district. This tube well is the only source to get water for the people in Thonigala village here in Kahatagis Digilia.
There is only one tube well for the entire village. It is difficult for us to survive like this.
Our journey also took us to the village of Vitiga, however, in Horopatana, home to 75 families. A hole dug at the bottom of a dried up well is the only source of water for these area residents.
This is not just a pit for sure. This is a well which has been dug very recently in the middle of a dried up tank called Ritiga, however, in Horopatana Divisional Secretariat area.
The Ritiga, however, has been riddled with kidney disease, and the drought conditions have had a dire impact on the lives of these patients. Doctors have advised patients not to consume well water. However, due to the scarcity of water, they are faced with a huge dilemma.
Obtaining water from wells has been prohibited. Around 10 people in the village are ill with kidney diseases. Many passed away due to kidney diseases.
That was Newsfirst Sangeet Kalubovila filing that report earlier on in the day. Let's now cross over live via Skype to Sangeet to find out a situation report about the drought situation in Polonnaruwa and Anuradhapura.
Today we visited some places in Kahatagis Digilia and Patana. We saw the people living in areas are still struggling to find water for their needs. Majority of them are belong to farming community and they have lost their source of income due to this drought. And these people are still waiting for some relief.
Well, if you're just watching us, this is Prime Time News live on Newsfirst. We're covering the drought situation. And if you don't know the areas that have been affected by the drought, well, there are 14 districts, and I'll name these districts for you. They're Trincomalee, Batiklo, Ampara, Polonnaruwa, Anuradhapura, Kurunegala, Putlam, Hambantota, Badula, Monoragala, Vavuniya, Mulattivu, Mana, Jaffna. As you can see, 2 million people have been affected by this drought situation. That's why MTV, MBC networks and the Capital Maharaja group as a whole have recommenced the Sirasa Shakti Sahanayatra. You would remember this, that during the tsunami time too we launched the Sirasa Shakti Sahanayatra. It was also launched during flood situations, and now when the people are in most need of water, we have recommenced the Sirasa Shakti Sahanayatra to cover these 14 districts that have been plagued by the drought. Now the collection points have been set up, and one of the collection points is actually the MTV MBC head office. That's where we are right now, and Ramesh Irugal Bandara, my colleague, is standing by for a live digi transmission update on the relief efforts that is being done through the Sirasa Shakti Sahanayatra. Ramesh, over to you.
Thank you, Mahina. Well, over 2 million people affected in 14 districts. That is the extent of this extreme drought that has gripped the country. This is the exact same reason why the Capital Maharaja organization launched the Sirasa Shakti Sahanayatra program. That is to provide relief to those who have been affected by this severe drought. We started our campaign at 9 a.m. this morning, and the response that we have received from the public has been overwhelming. What you witness is just a bit of the donations that has flown in to aid our fellow brothers and sisters who have been affected by the drought. Now, how can you help? Well, the main necessity of these people is water. Whatever way you can, please provide us with water. 5-liter bottles of water, 1-liter bottles of water, whatever you can spare, they need it. In addition, they also require other requirements such as dry rations, rice, dal, sugar, milk powder, canned fish. Anything that you can spare will be welcomed by these people who have been affected severely by these extreme bad weather conditions. Where can you give it off? Well, the Capital Maharaj organization has set up 3 drop-off points for aid for the Sirsa Shakti Sahanayatra program. Our main head office in Colombo 2, Bebru Place, is the main location where you can drop off relief items. You can also drop off relief items at our Department Studio Complex as well as the Stein Studio Complex in Ratmalana. We appeal to you, to the humanity, to the humaneness of your heart. Help our fellow brothers and sisters join the Sirsa Shakti Sahanayatra program. Mahina, back to you.
Collection points for donations and contributions have been set up at the MTV MBC head office at Braybrook Place, Colombo 2, the MTV MBC Studio Complex in Department Panipitia, and the Stein Studios in Ratmalana. Any person can assist in this venture by donating essential items including bottled water, rice, dal, sugar, milk powder and canned fish. Donations and contributions have been flowing into the MTV MBC head office at Braybrook Place in Colombo 2 since this morning. The Mahasangha commends the effort of the Sirsa Media Network to assist those affected. The Sirsa Shakti Sahana Yatra is being carried out as a part of humanity. We must lend a helping hand at times like these. I call on others to render service for the people of our country who are in need. Come and assist those in need. It will be a blessing. I have to be thankful to the Sirsa Media Network for giving an opportunity like this. Donations and contributions also flow to the MTV MBC Studio Complex in Department Panipitia. We came to Sirsa to donate because we wanted to engage in a meritorious deed. I wanted to help. It is a very good initiative carried out by Sirsa. We are from the Sri Javardhanapur Children's Hospital and we are extremely happy to engage in such a deed. We came here to fulfill our responsibility. The public brought their donations to the Stein Studio Complex down 2nd Lane in Borupona Road in Ratmalana as well. This is a national responsibility. This is something that we cannot do alone. We can only do it if an organization like this assists us.
අපි ඉතා අගය කරනවා. අපි ඉතා සන්තෝෂයෙන් මේ කාර්යයට එකතු වෙනවා. ඉදිරියටත් මේ වගේ කාර්යයන් කරන්න කටයුතු කරන්න සිරසට ශක්තිය ධෛර්යය ලැබෙන්න ඕන කියලා අපි ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා.
Hello all, Dean Jones here. I'm just asking and pleading for your help. You know there's a drought crisis going on and it's affecting everyone right throughout Sri Lanka. We're asking for everyone to donate water and supplies down here at the MTV network. Yes, please bring them down to the head office down here in Colombo and help the friends in need in the country areas. Drought is stricken in Australia, it strikes everywhere. We badly need your help and your supplies and water. Please bring it down to the head office.
The Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited has also set up plans to collect the contributions from persons who are residing outside Colombo. You can also provide us with lorries in order to transport the relief items to the drought-stricken people. For more details on the Sirsa Shakti Sahana Yatra, you can contact us on 0114 896 896.
as you saw people from different age groups, from different sectors of society flocking to the 3 collection points for the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra, bringing in their donations in whatever form, may it be small or big donations, but coming in to help their fellow brothers and sisters who are suffering in drought-stricken areas. And if you too want to join in, well, you can come to our head office, drop off the items here or at the studio complex in Depanama or at the Stein Studios in Ratmalana. Contact us on our hotline, that's 0114896 Go on our website, that's www.newsfirst.lk, to find out and learn about how you too can be a part of this mammoth effort to help our fellow brothers and sisters. Well, with that, we now cross over to Madhushka and Florine at the main news desk.
Yes, thank you very much, Mahina, and thank you, Ramesh. Ramesh, that was Mahina reporting from the Newsfirst Centre and Ramesh Irugal Bandara reporting from the MTV head office drop-off point for the Sahana Yatra. Now, you may be wondering, why are we doing this? Why are we taking this initiative? Let's hear what the public has to say.
We are
humbly requesting those who can to please give us water or food. We are severely inconvenienced. We do not have farmlands. We do not have water. We are living in poverty.
We have not received any relief, food or any support in carrying out farming activities.
People in this village even find it difficult to eat 3 meals a day. We have to come to a state where we cannot even provide milk for our children. We find it very hard to attend school because we do not have water. We bathe only once a week. I'm requesting to please give us water. Our time is over. Now it is the children's time. Please provide us water. How many pregnant women are there? We go to the clinic but we do not have water to drink and no food to eat. How do we provide for our children? We do not even have a drop of water. There is nothing to eat. So I would like to request the public to give us anything they can offer.
Meanwhile, 79 complaints have been lodged with Election Secretariat in connection with the upcoming Uvak Provincial Council elections. The Unit for Investigating Election-related Complaints says that 22 complaints have been received from the Badulla district, while 51 complaints have been lodged from the Monaragala district. 6 general complaints have also been received.
We see preparations being made for the upcoming Uva Provincial Council polls in Monaragala and surrounding areas. However, the Election Secretariat has received 12 election complaints which are related to election violence. 4 complaints are related to the misuse of government offices, buildings and grounds. It must also be mentioned that 14 complaints have been made with regard to utilizing government officials for political activities. Out of this, 8 complaints have been made from the Monaragala district.
However, the Election Secretary advised the police yesterday to beef up security using roadblocks in the Monaragala district.
We believe that this can be controlled by inspecting the vehicles by the police at night and by increasing patrol rounds in major cities and deploying police security forces.
This was the condition that was seen in the road from Monaragala to Bibila. A JVP candidate and his followers were assaulted in the Haputale area around 7 a.m. today. The police stated that the victims are receiving treatment in the Diatalava hospital. Police media unit stated that a special investigation has been launched into the incident by the Haputale police.
And up next, it's warfare. Election warfare, that is. It's the battle for Uva.
We are in the process of making this statement obsolete. We are transforming the lives of our citizens. It has come to a point where the people are asking for this.
The economy is collapsing. It will not recover. There will be more issues in education and they will not be solved. Issues will arise in the health services. They too will go unsolved. The economy is bankrupt. Everyone has felt it.
Those who follow the United National Party and the JVP will be left helpless politically. Development need not be limited to mere word. We are the ones who did the work.
Have we seen development or are we going in reverse? We have no agriculture, no water, no lands. This country has not been developed. There is only the name called the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, but it has nothing to it. We need a change.
There are no smiles on our faces. We do not have happiness. We used to have 3 meals a day a few months back. Today we cannot afford 3 meals. What has happened?
Poverty cannot be eradicated using magic. When we do something, the others try to do something against it. We need to answer them appropriately. If not, there is no point in us being the dominant force in this district.
Patients who arrive at hospitals across the island continue to face difficulties as a result of the ongoing health strike action. The strike action launched by the workers attached to professions supplementary to medicine continued for the third day today as a result of failed discussions. The Joint Council of Professions Supplementary to Medicine says that it will continue its strike action as their demands have not been met.
Many services at hospitals were stalled as a result of the strike action that was launched, citing 6 demands. This is the OPD at the Colombo National Hospital. Prescriptions were not issued for OPD patients as well as clinical patients. Patients were compelled to obtain their medicine from private institutions and the outlets of the State Pharmaceutical Corporation. Patients in their numbers were seen lined up before the outlet of the State Pharmaceutical Corporation adjacent to the Colombo National Hospital.
The rich will go to any private hospital for their requirements. The poor people are waiting in line over here. There are many who go away empty-handed because they have no money to buy medicine.
What will happen to those who cannot afford to? I have no way to pay.
There is no medicine for the patient. The patient is bedridden. In the morning he told me that he had chest pains. I wonder what will happen now. There is no medicine here. How are we to obtain medicine? I left home at 6 last evening. When I got here by train it was 11:45 in the night. I have to go back to Hatton.
It's been 4 days since we got admitted in hospital. We cannot obtain medicine. Are they striking for their wages? We are just idling here. This is the Hambantota General Hospital. Patients shared their experiences with us on obtaining the prescription from the hospital and then heading to the SPC outlet to purchase them. I've been here since 4 in the morning. 2 people fainted already. Why isn't the government giving us medicine? Patients are dying.
I haven't eaten at all. We come here because we cannot afford to purchase medicine. Innocent people are put into discomfort.
It feels like we are being killed. The OPD at the Kaltara General Hospital was also non-functional today. Patients who arrived at Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital too were severely inconvenienced.
Their salary is above 30,000 rupees. People who are poor are here as the patients. Striking is not the answer to this. This is now a trend.
I arrived here from Vijayapura. I got into the bus with my children at 4 in the morning. I'm still waiting to get my medicine. This is unjust. The patients are dying. Why are they doing this? Issuing a communique, the Minister of Health stated that solutions are being formulated to meet 3 of the 6 demands that were the cause of the strike action. Minister of Health Maithripala Sirisena said that the Cabinet draft paper in this regard has already been directed to the Cabinet subcommittee is being discussed. The Minister calls on the trade union members to call off the strike action as steps are being taken to meet the rest of their demands as well.
A group of monks attached to an organization called the Ampara District Chief Incumbents Organization convened a media briefing yesterday and raised questions over an Action TV expose that was aired on the 18th of this month. The Action TV expose was on the felling of a kumbuk tree located in the Kotavahara Gramaladari jurisdiction in Ampara on the 12th of this month and the bundling of timber that was later taken over by the Department of Forest Conservation. Action TV also exposed a letter dated the 7th of August related to the felling of this kumbuk tree in question sent to the Gramaladari officer of Kotavahara by the Divisional Secretariat in Ampara. The Ampara Divisional Secretary has attempted to mislead the Grama Seva officer by noting that copies of the letter have been addressed to the State Timber Corporation, the Ampara District Forest Officer and the Superintendent of Police in Ampara. However, it was when Action TV inquired over the matter on the 15th of August that the respective officials came to be aware of the existence of such a letter. In this letter, the Divisional Secretary has said that the timber of the felled kumbuk tree is required for a construction adjacent to the Divisional Secretariat. However, at that time, no such construction had taken place in the vicinity. The felling of a tree in state property and bundling it up for timber is a task solely vested with the State Timber Corporation. However, according to this letter, the bundled timber was to be transported to a private timber mill. What is more surprising is that this mill is actually a paddy mill. When the raids unit of the State Timber Corporation seized the timber, it was revealed that one of the two individuals who were bundling the timber was in fact an individual from Inginiagala who is out on bail and has been linked to a number of timber racketing charges. The timber of this kumbuk tree in question was handed over to the State Timber Corporation on the 15th of August and the value has been estimated at 700,000 rupees. On the 18th of August, the Department of Irrigation filed a complaint with the police based on the revelation made by Action TV, citing that as the kumbuk tree belongs to them, an investigation needs to be conducted on the felling of the tree, which was done without the consent of the Department of Irrigation.
We wish to question whether this is the largest kumbuk tree in Asia that was felled by the Divisional Secretary of Ampara. He has acted in a disciplined manner. He has sent his office staff in his official vehicle for this task. We wish to ask if this act is wrong.
Subsequent to the media briefing, the group of monks handed over a letter to the Divisional Secretary condemning the Action TV report. Yet another kumbuk tree that falls under the Ampara Divisional Secretariat was felled yesterday.
Yesterday, we delved into the curious case of rising rice prices and promised a broader investigation. Today, the Consumer Affairs Authority issuing a communique notes that rice and paddy warehouse owners, mill owners and rice exporters must notify the authority about their current stocks before the 15th of next month. The authority added that if such people do not adhere or cooperate with authority, their stocks of rice or paddy will be seized by the government.
As the distribution of rice was under government regulation in the recent past, we were able to witness the manner in which various methods were used to influence prices. Why do rice traders sell rice at such high prices?
How can we sell rice at 77 rupees? We are selling rice at 82 rupees. If we sell excessively, they catch us. That's why we have to sell without getting caught, like selling illegal arak.
Another party that is said to be blamed for the increase of rice prices are mill owners.
Prices of paddy are really high. By purchasing paddy at such a rate, we cannot sell rice at the government-controlled prices.
However, mill owners charge that large-scale mill owners purchase large stocks of paddy at a higher price and thus sell rice at exorbitant amount. As a result, numerous small-scale mill owners had to close down their mills.
The forces controlling large-scale mills are tightening their grip on small-scale mills. These large-scale mills influence prices in the market in a manner that would be beneficial to them. If they receive large stocks of paddy, they decrease the price. We have 113 mill owners, out of which only 15 to 20 mills are in operation. We feel like this is a conspiracy to remove us from the field.
Meanwhile, farmers' associations charge that there are a group of people who are connected to politicians who have strong government backing that are involved in a rice mafia.
Only major businesses remain. The small-scale businessmen have been eliminated from the field. There are 15 individuals who are carrying out this agenda.
The
emptied all stocks of rice that belong to the government. 80% of this rice is purchased by the government ministers and their brothers, especially the Aralia, Nipuna and Luck rice companies. And after doing this, they said they are out of paddy, virtually creating a shortage of paddy and rice. Then they increase the prices beyond the control price. According to an estimation, it was agreed that it would be alright to release 50,000 metric tons of rice to the market. But we are now faced with the situation where we have to bring in more stocks. We have made plans to be in possession of stocks of paddy and release them into the market when required.
Deputy Minister of Investment Promotion Faisal Mustafa relaunched the European Union-Sri Lanka Business Dialogue in Colombo yesterday.
The relaunch was done with the purpose of encouraging the European Union in economic terms and encourage investments from the member countries of the Union to Sri Lanka. The event saw the participation of the Ambassador of the European Union to Sri Lanka, David Daly.
The EU dialogue was initiated for the reason that there was various quarters expressed a need for a platform that we could discuss issues. Sometimes the investor would not go to the correct forum to solve his problems. For example, he would go to the wrong line ministry. I believe that this platform will resolve a lot of issues, and also we need to create a dialogue. We can have a closer dialogue with Europe through this forum, and all the European ambassadors have been very supportive of this forum.
When you look at the flows of investment into Sri Lanka, around 24% come from Europe every year. Because last year, the investment flow from Europe of FDI to Sri Lanka increased by more than 60%. So it is a strong and developing relationship. Investment rules are not always clear. EU companies feel that while trade rules are clear, FDI rules are not always so. For large projects, more and more unsolicited offers are being entertained by the government, which has the potential to compromise transparency. This can affect the attractiveness of applying to participate in large projects in this country.
A tense situation broke out in Achuveli, Jaffna this evening. A tipper truck transporting sand collided with a bicycle, resulting in the death of a woman riding the bicycle in the Nilavara area. The deceased has been identified as a 23-year-old. Locals who were enraged over the accident had attempted to assault the driver of the tipper truck. The police had to intervene to rescue the driver from the angry mob. Later, a group had set the tipper truck ablaze.
On Monday on Primetime News, we commenced seeking the opinions of UNP supporters from across the island on the Leadership Council. We brought to you the views of UNP activists from Biagama, Mathura and Galle during the last few days. Tonight we feature the views of UNP activists from Colombo.
UNP activists in Colombo opine that the victory achieved by J.R. Jayawardena in the electoral front is not through the appointment of Leadership Council. Colombo UNP activists say that the current leadership could learn from the activities of J.R. Jayawardena, who led the party to victory by working together with R. Premadasa, who emerged from the public, and subsequently appointing him as his successor.
This is a time period where the wealth of the country is being exploited. The flora and fauna of the country are being sold for the wants and needs of ministers and the rulers. It is at such times that the people rally around the United National Party. A large force has gathered around us. However, the party is being led by a foolish institution known as the Leadership Council. The council is led by Karu Jayasuriya, and a majority of the people in it are foes of the party. As municipal councillors, as party members, as the chairman of the Jatika Sevaka Sangamya, and as a deputy chairman of the party, I clearly state that if we are to work against the oppression of the government, we need to completely reject the Leadership Council. If Ranil Wickramasinghe and Sajid Premadasa unite, then we will have no competition against his government. I request Karu Jayasuriya, who destroyed the party, to go home. Else, party members like us will have to continue to face hardships.
මේ නායකත්ව මණ්ඩලයෙන් මුළු රටම විනාශයට පත් වෙයි කියලා යන්නේ. අපේ පක්ෂය විනාශ වෙලා පක්ෂය නැති බංගස්ථාන තත්ත්වයට පත් වෙලා.
The leadership council will result in the destruction of the entire country. Our party destroyed. The party members are disgusted. However, our party members will rejoice once Karu Jayasuriya announced that he is stepping down from the post of leadership council chairman. People like Mangala Samaravira, who branded the UNP as terrorists, are of no use to the party. All they do is destroy the party. The party members are left helpless. People like Mangala Samaravira and Karu Jayasuriya definitely need to move out of the party. Only then will this party move forward. Our leader Ranil Wickremesinghe and Sajid Premadasa should join hands and move forward.
අනිවාර්යෙන් පක්ෂයෙන් ඉවත් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඉවත් වුණු දවසට තමයි මේ පක්ෂයට එළියක් එන්නේ. ඒ එළිය ගන්න ඕන නම් රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ නායකතුමාගේ නායකත්වය තුලින් පසුපෙළ නායකත්වය සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මහත්මයාත් එක්ක ඉස්සරහට එන්න ඕනේ කියන තමයි මගේ අදහස.
And in sports news, Sri Lanka's Dinuka Karunaratne failed to advance to the third round of the World Badminton Championships today as a result of his loss in the second round. The 2014 Badminton World Federation World Championships are taking place in Copenhagen, Denmark.
Moving to some rugby news now. The International Rugby Board will become World Rugby from November 19, 2014 as part of a major rebranding program. The new brand, including a new logo, will be launched at the IRB World Rugby Conference and Exhibition in London on November 17th to 18th.
Global rugby participation has boomed by more than 2 million to 6.6 million players over the past 4 years, driven by the commercial success of Rugby World Cup, the IRB's development strategies and record investment, strong and vibrant unions, and rugby's re-inclusion in the Olympic Games. With rugby aspiring to inspire and engage new audiences and players around the world, the rebrand reflects the organization's mission to build a stronger connection with fans, players and new audiences worldwide. The rebrand will have no impact on Rugby World Cup 2015 branding or positioning, which will remain as it is with its iconic logo throughout the current event cycle. The chairman of IRB said, quote, "Rugby continues to thrive, reach out and engage new audiences and participants in record numbers, and the IRB has been at the heart of that growth," unquote.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of Primetime News. I've been Madhushka Balasuriya.
And I'm Florine Rajendran. Good night and take care.
Thanks for stopping by.